very large. So we started another project to solve the issue of computation, and that project is called LOM.C, and its essence is to make sure these AI model are able to be accessed on a very, very limited computational resources which reflect the African context. So, and those are the projects we've been doing, but because they were like more of a company projects, so we thought like it's very important to involve a community so that to give every youth, everyone access to it and ability to contribute. So we started another it's more of a community. We call it Builders Space. So we run Builders Space like after like every 3 months. We meet developers, students, and people interested in open source projects to discuss and come up with ideas on how we can improve these tools, but also on how we can make them more accessible. So that's how we bridge like the company projects we're doing, but also the youth or the community around us, which helps us to make them useful, but also solve the actual problems around the communities. Thank you.
If you have just joined us now, we are still listening to the Next Gen Tech Trends Africa podcast, where the future speaks African. Whether you're a student, educator, or you're an AI developer or innovator, this episode is definitely for you. And we are still with Zephania Reuben, who's telling us or teaching us about the work that they do in Tanzania in the space of open source community. And Zephania, I hope young people from the African continent will be inspired and also leverage on the opportunities like on the initiatives that you are doing, especially with the Delta Command one, because I'm interested in it because you said it can like actually work offline, because you know that Africa has like many challenges, especially when it comes to internet connectivity. So not everyone has access to connectivity. So just another question, like because this is a podcast where we want to make sure that grassroots voices are actually getting a platform to speak, especially on the digital transformation. So what is your take on young people, the importance of young people leading the digital transformation or agenda of the continent? And also, what is your opinion when it comes to cross-border collaboration? How can we make sure that we intensify collaboration, cross-border collaboration?
Thank you so much, Bongekile. I think that's a very, very nice perspective because last week I was in Rwanda attending the planning in Daba, and then we had a poster presentation session. Then one thing which I noticed and I felt like we need to think about it is like you find people from different countries are solving the same problem and they don't know each other, and you find like there's no way of those people to either come together and collaborate on that specific problem. So I think cross-border collaboration when it comes to Africa is very, very important because we share challenges. For instance, let's say I'm working on the local languages here in Tanzania. Like for instance, in Tanzania we have like 120 plus tribes. That means 120 plus local languages here. We are working on making sure those languages are included in these AI models, but also, if not all, but some of them are preserved digitally. But you may find like also someone from a different country here in Africa is working on the same problem, and we don't know each other possibly, but possibly if we could come together, we could share resources. We could share resources in terms of, let's say, if it's computation, if it's human resource, and any other things. So in the era of AI, where most of the innovations are being driven from the West and the East. It's very important for Africa as a continent to come together and address the challenges at one. Like we ignore the borders and then we come together to solve the challenge, because we have a lot of challenges. We have a challenge of talents, we have the challenge of computation, we have the challenge of data, and many more challenges, as you say, the connectivity issues. So we can't win the race independently. So that's my take, and I feel those who are going to make us win are the youth of the continent. That's my perspective.
Absolutely, absolutely, and like that Africa is our population is consists of young people. So I think it's time now for the continent to leverage on its power, because Africa's power lies on young people. Just for us to talk about what's your take on this latest trends on AI agents? AI agents, like, what do you think? Is this the future?
Wow, so that's a very good question. So for me, I feel like, because I'm very interested in understanding how the actual intelligence, that is human intelligence, works. So sometimes I feel like we are still very far to actually having something that mimics how brain works. So I'll give you some few examples. AI agents are very good innovation, and they're very good at automating and completing tasks. But one thing or one drawback is that they are not reliable. And I was learning something some few days. Due to this unreliability, it makes it very difficult for people to trust these AI agents, like to give them full authority to execute tasks, due to the way they are not reliable. So they are very useful when it comes to usefulness. So they are very useful, and they can in terms of businesses, they can cut costs, but also they can, let's say, improve productivity. But the issue of liability is very important. The issue of privacy. For instance, imagine now you have an AI agent which you have give it, let's say, access to your account. Like, maybe if you want it to make a purchase, it goes to a website, and then it searches for the product you want, and then it makes an order, and then when it comes to payment, it makes a payment, like it knows your card credentials, and then it makes payment. How can you be sure, like, no one is going to trick this AI agent to expose your credential, or your bank credential, or your accounting credentials? It's like something that is very very risky, because you are not sure how this agent is safe to be used. So those are the challenges I see when it comes to how we use these AI agents. Or, for instance, one challenge I saw someone was challenging, like, when you tell an AI agent to order for you food, you can wait for it like for 20 minutes to do it, because it starts to search a lot of websites, and then it goes onto a website, it starts like navigating, because if it wants to navigate it to a certain page, it has to check everything, and then it will know where I have to go, then it goes there. And you find, like, to complete that specific order, it might take, let's say, from 15 to 30 minutes. And then when you decide to do it on your own, you might find like you are spending possibly not more than 10 minutes, let's say, doing that. So there are still an issue when it comes to, are these agents actually useful to this case study, or they are not useful to this case study? So there are some of the case studies which AI agents are very useful, and there are some of the case studies or business operations which we can actually rely on AI agents. So I'll give you another way, like another perspective, which I usually hear from people. So maybe I want customer support, and then I get into a website. I find a chatbot, and then I start doing conversation. When I notice like I'm doing conversation with the bot, it's actually me as a human. It's like it moves all those humanly feelings. So I feel like I'm not like that serious to that specific chatbot because I know it's not a human. So most of the people you find like they prefer to hand over or to change to human. So some of the companies have these models like you can switch to human if the chatbot is not actually solving what you want. So there are those issues which I think are the challenges we have to address apart from the very, very useful aspects of AI agents. So that's my take. And AI agents are the future in the perspective that we are going to be relying on them to solve our problems or to complete our tasks, but they are not the future in perspective that the human life has a lot of have diverse of things and concepts around uh, around the life itself. So I'm not sure if they're going to be able to solve everything that is around human, but they're going to be very useful in very specific cases, and that's very okay.
Wow, thank you so much for that insight. And yeah, I think issues of data privacy are really concerns that we should really try to address. Zephania, thank you so much for joining us today. And like just for teaching us, like I've learned a lot from this interview.
Yeah, it's
Also,
very
thank
okay.
you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bunkir, and I appreciate. Yeah, thank you so much.
To our listeners, don't forget to subscribe and like. Until next time, stay curious. Remember, we are shaping Africa's digital future one trend at a time. Until next time, stay curious. Bye.